What if I told you that almost everything you've ever learned about building wealth is a lie? Seriously, the advice from your financial advisor, your parents, those best-selling books, what if it's all built on a fundamentally broken idea? Well, we're about to tear all of that down because the investment game is rigged, and I'm going to show you exactly how to start playing it the right way.
And I mean that literally. The entire philosophy you've been fed about how to invest your money isn't just a little bit off. It's a carefully constructed lie. It's a dangerous one, too. One that's mathematically engineered to make sure you never, ever achieve that life-changing, exponential kind of wealth.
So let's just pull the curtain all the way back on what I like to call the great investment lie. And look, this isn't some wild conspiracy theory. Nope, this is about cold, hard math. The math that actually governs how fortunes are made, and it's about time you learned the real rules of the game.
It all starts with this one number, 90%. In the high-stakes world of venture capital, where the biggest fortunes on Earth are actually created, this one number explains pretty much everything.
Because get this, a staggering 90% of all the money made comes from just 5% of the deals. Just let that sink in for a second. That means for every 20 bets a venture capitalist makes, they're counting on just one to hit it so big, it pays for all the other 19 failures. The rest, they're zeros, worthless. So you see, the game was never about picking a bunch of winners. It was always about finding that one single monster.
Right now, you might be thinking, okay, but that's crazy high-risk venture capital. That has nothing to do with my retirement account. But here's the kicker. The data shows the public stock market, the safe one, is even more extreme, and it all boils down to this next number.
Just 4%. 4% of all public companies have generated almost all of the stock market's wealth creation, ever. So what about the other 96%? They're basically just background noise. That diversified portfolio you're so proud of, it's literally designed to make you perfectly average in a game where being average means you get left with nothing. Okay, so you have to stop playing their game. You need a completely new map, a totally different mindset. It's time to stop hunting for deer and start hunting for dragons. See, the financial world sold you a map to this place, the bell curve world. It's a nice, predictable little forest where everything is safe and clusters right around the average. The problem is, real wealth isn't made there. It's made over here, in the power law universe, a chaotic, violent, and totally unpredictable land of extreme outcomes. It's where the monsters and the dragons live. And this is the real difference in strategy. Deer hunting is what they taught you. Diversify, play it safe, get those nice average returns. And yeah, it's safe, but you're only ever going to eat deer. Dragon hunting, on the other hand, is about concentration. It's about finding insane asymmetric upside and being willing to take on huge risk. Why? Because if you succeed just once, you and your entire family will feast for a lifetime. The tragedy is, most people are out there using deer rifles in a dragon's lair. So how in the world do you learn to hunt dragons? Well, it starts with something that's going to sound crazy. You throw out your finance textbooks and you pick up biology books instead. We need totally new mental models, and the best ones are drawn straight from the natural world. First up, the Cambrian explosion. So for billions of years, life on Earth was kind of boring, just simple stuff. Then bam, in what was basically the blink of an eye, geologically speaking, almost every animal body plan that exists today just appeared out of nowhere. How? New design spaces opened up. Things like skeletons and eyeballs suddenly became possible. As an investor, your goal isn't to find a slightly better company. Your goal is to spot the exact moments when entirely new economic ecosystems are being born. And the cool thing is, we're living through a few of these explosions right now. You've got areas like decentralized venture capital, which gives you access to startups way earlier than ever before. You've got niche crypto assets, building the deep infrastructure for a whole new internet. And even in the public markets, you have small cap tech, which is pushing the absolute frontiers of genomics and AI. These are the modern hunting grounds. This is where the new dragons are being born. And here's our second model from biology, the invasive species. You're not looking for a company that just competes a little bit better than everyone else. No, you're looking for a company that completely changes the environment so that only it can survive. It doesn't just want to win the game, it wants to light the old game board on fire and replace it with a brand new one that it owns. Okay, so you've got the dragon hunting mindset. You know where the new hunting grounds are, but there's a problem, a really, really big one. Even if you have the perfect map, the game is still fundamentally rigged against you because the house always wins.
To really get this, we've got to go all the way back to 1815. The Battle of Waterloo is raging. The London Stock Exchange is in a full-blown panic. Everyone's dumping their British bonds, terrified that Napoleon has won. But Nathan Rothschild, through his private network, gets secret news. Britain has actually won. So what does he do? He walks onto the exchange and publicly starts selling his bonds. Everyone else freaks out thinking, oh my God, Rothschild knows we lost, and the market completely collapses. And that's when his secret agents spread throughout the crowd, buy up every single bond for pennies on the dollar. See, he didn't just use information, he weaponized it.
And this right here is the absolute key to everything. By the time you read about some big tech breakthrough in the news, the real trade has already happened. That headline isn't a signal for you to buy in. No, it's the receipt for a transaction that the insiders already cashed out on weeks, months, or sometimes even years ago. You are always playing with yesterday's information.
But wait, because the rigging is even more structured than just information. If you want to see the hidden system laid bare, you don't look at Silicon Valley. You look at the 1850s whaling industry. It's the perfect blueprint for modern venture capital. It shows you the roles, it shows you who takes the risk, and it shows you who really gets rich. The only question is, which part were you cast to play?
And this brings us to the single most important part of this whole thing. If you want to change your financial outcome, you have to change your role in the system. You have to stop being the crew on somebody else's ship.
See, this system only has 3 roles. First, there's the agent, that's the venture capitalist. He owns a whole portfolio of ships and takes his cut no matter what. Then you have the captain, that's the founder. She's taking on massive personal risk for a massive potential reward. And then there's the crew, and that's you, the retail investor, the employee with some stock options. You take on all the risk of the ship sinking for a tiny, tiny fraction of the reward, a fraction that most of the time ends up being worth 0. This system isn't broken. Oh no, it's working perfectly. It's designed to funnel wealth from the crew to the agent.
So please, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this. Your goal is not to get better at spotting the winning ship from the shore. Your goal is to fundamentally change your role in the system itself.
This was never about a stock tip. This is about understanding a 200-year-old system that's designed to use your money and your labor as fuel. Your one and only job is to stop being the crew. So the only question left to ask is, what's your next move?